Welcome to IHeartSW so much. I'm Matthew Rybel, and IHeartSW so much. As human beings, we absolutely must criticize things or we'd probably die. It doesn't matter if we love or hate something. We always, every time, without fail, compare it to something else and then criticize it. Star Wars is huge, so inherently there are a lot of things to find fault with. In this video, I'd like to discuss one of the things that I've heard many people question, both out of innocent curiosity and vehement disdain: the Force. How does it actually work? Because sometimes it seems like they just sort of make it up as they go. Well, they kind of sort of do. First of all, it's very important to remember that Star Wars is not science fiction. Although sci-fi generally takes place in outer space and often in what might be our future, I think this is where a lot of the confusion actually lies. Setting does not dictate genre. Star Wars is a modern myth, a fantasy story. One of the biggest differences between the genres is the in-universe rules. Every genre has its own rules, and most of them should be bent, but generally not broken. The tenet of sci-fi is in the name. It's fiction, but it's based in science. It's all made up, not real. But someday, maybe, these things could actually happen. In the fantasy genre, the rules allow you to be really vague and extremely creative with the rules. Basically, as long as what you do doesn't break any of the rules you've already established, you can do whatever you want that best serves the story. It's about telling really far out tales without being hampered by a bunch of unnecessary minutia. So how does the Force work then? Do they really just make it up as they go? The answer here is really in the description I just gave of the fantasy genre. Once they establish a rule, they can't or shouldn't break it. But if there's something that hasn't been discussed yet, and this is the important part, that it serves the story, that's got to be first and foremost. If they've got something new, it serves the story, and there's no rule to prevent it, then yeah, they kind of can just make stuff up. So if you're ever wondering if the Force can be used in a certain way, just remember, this is a fantasy story. The Force, much like hyperspace, has few established rules. They serve the overall story first and foremost. The rules are meant to be created and refined as you go, as the story's needs change and progress. It's, for me, one of the things I love most about Star Wars, and the things Disney's been doing with it since the acquisition, to both view and approach this massive universe that George Lucas created a long time ago, in a West Coast state not all that far away. The Force isn't something that's completely understood, much like the nature of the universe as we know it. There are just so many things that we have yet to understand. So maybe don't allow yourself to get bogged down in a bunch of silly details. Star Wars is fantasy, and it's more about telling interesting and fun stories than about writing technical manuals. Just enjoy it. I'm Matthew Rybel, and I heart Star Wars so much. Until next time, may the Force be with you.